The biggest myth that I want to bust is that it's a diet for everybody. It is not. Veganism, plant-based in particular, is a diet for the privileged people who can choose to do so.
I can't tell you how many of you have reached out to me to make a video commenting on Giles Yeo's appearance on Diary of a CEO. Roll the titles.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, just a quick reminder that I'm now offering the SIBO, organic acid, stool tests and consult via my website. So if you have any health or digestive problems, then consider taking these tests, as they will provide a lot of very detailed information upon which you can start making informed decisions and then start getting your health back on track. And on that bombshell, to the video.
You did a documentary called Clean Eating, which is predominantly about plant-based eating.
And it's a pretty poor documentary, but we will leave that there.
It wasn't predominant. I did look at plant-based. I also looked at the alkali diet, and I also looked at gluten-free.
So let's talk about those last two then.
Yes.
So plant-based diet. I heard that there was a lot of adverse reaction from some people in some communities regarding the plant-based component of that documentary.
There will always be a backlash when you take something out of context and then you try and put a certain narrative on it to suit your own agenda. A lot of what Giles asserted in the documentary was based on partial truths. And if you haven't watched it, then I think you can still view the documentary online. I think it also led to Dr. Colin Campbell publicly making a statement because he felt what he had said had been completely taken out of context. Again, I think you can view his rebuttal online.
Is that true or false?
That is true. That is true. And the reason there was a problem was, look, I hope you think, speaking to me, that I'm a reasonable person. I speak with some nuance. I don't think so.
He seems like a reasonable guy, but it doesn't mean that there weren't certain areas where he clearly crossed lines in the documentary to fit what he wanted to get from the documentary.
What we did was plant-based has taken on a different meaning today. Okay, based on the supermarkets and what have you. But when I did the program, plant-based meant a far more restrictive version of veganism. Plant-based meant that you ate minimally processed foods, hardly any sugar, and you ate whole foods only. It's fine. It's a perfectly healthy diet.
Those words there, a restrictive diet. See, it's that type of language he used consistently during the documentary that caused him to get such a backlash. And by the looks of it, he's still doing it. It's a perfectly healthy diet, but it's restrictive. How restrictive is my diet really? If I don't eat fish, eggs, meat or drink milk, etc., but I eat a wider range of everything else.
As long as you take the right supplements. The problem is the plant-based, people become vegan or plant-based for many different reasons: ethical reasons, environmental reasons, and health. Okay, all three or a mix of the three. The one issue I took with the plant-based community in that program is that they believed that there was no safe dose of animal protein.
To be fair to Giles, this is one thing he got absolutely right in his documentary. And ever since I started this channel, I have always said that you can be absolutely healthy having animal foods in your diet, but it's about context and the amount that you are consuming. Okay?
Which meant that even eating a bit of egg white, the moment you started eating a bit of egg white, it begins to kill you slowly. I says, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, and it doesn't support, the science doesn't support it.
Agreed, but the science does support that if you eat more processed refined meats, or meats in general at higher levels, then there is a potential for a sizable impact on your health.
We eat too much meat. The science does support that, okay? But eggs, okay? People, then you're calling vegetarians, they're killing themselves because they're eating eggs or something. That was what I took him up on.
That's fair, but if you're a true scientist, then you don't create a false narrative around a whole documentary just because you didn't agree with what some people were claiming from plant-based and vegan quarters.
And they thought that because I was challenging, I says there is a safe dose of animal protein. We do need to eat less meat. They went after me. Oh my God.
Talk about victim mentality.
It was amazing. In fact, the program has probably gone around the world probably 4 or 5 times. And the reason why I know is because every time it pops up in a new, the BBC doesn't tell me. Every time it pops up in a new country, I wake up to my inbox or my social media, and suddenly I get a rush of hate. The Canadian vegans have seen it again. Oh, look, it's in Australia. oh, the Swedish vegans, hello, and so it's just this really odd evangelical. I want to point out, I know this, please, it's the people that believe there is no safe dose of animal-based protein.
The backlash you are getting from these people is because you are making claims that only have partial truths, and you are taking so many things out of context.
Clearly, there is a safe dose. There are different reasons for doing things, but don't say silly things. That's what got me into trouble with evangelical vegans.
Because I've watched some sort of plant-based vegan documentaries on Netflix, and I come away from them thinking, Christ, I should never eat any meat ever again.
I think that there is certainly a problem with certain people in the vegan community who also take things out of context and put a spin on things to suit their own agendas. If we are talking about veganism, then your starting point is the ethics, but you don't have to manipulate the health facts about the vegan diet to make it appear better than it actually is. Plant-based diets are not a miracle cure.
For a variety of reasons. Actually, the reasons that I think they tend to lead with are more about the impact upon your health and your diet. I think that that's a much more compelling sell for most people, especially for people in parts of the world where they have another set of problems they're dealing with first, which is trying to feed themselves, period.
I think it's fair what Stephen is saying there. I found my way to a plant-based diet due to health conversations rather than the ethics. For me, the ethics come later. I would imagine it's a pretty high percentage of people who initially go plant-based for health reasons rather than the ethics. Let me know in the comments below, as I could be completely wrong here. Did you go plant-based vegan for your health initially, or was it driven by ethics?
But as it relates to health and veganism, plant-based diets, what are some of the stereotypes there that you've highlighted? One, that there is a quantity of meat products that is healthy. What are the general stereotypes there that need addressing?
So a couple of things that is it healthy to be on a plant-based diet? Let's just deal with that first, okay? And I think as long as you do it carefully and think about it and take the right supplements, it is.
You could say this about any diets, and in terms of a plant-based diet, it's a supplement that people need to take, not supplements. B12, period.
You have to supplement when you're on a plant-based diet, okay? You have to supplement certain things, vitamin B12, iodine, pardon me. You got to watch your iron, you got to watch your calcium.
Yes, you have to make sure you're eating a varied diet to ensure you are getting those nutrients, but you certainly don't need to supplement iodine, iron, or even calcium.
But you can do it safely, okay? But the biggest myth that I want to bust is that it's a diet for everybody. It is not. Veganism, plant-based in particular, is a diet for the privileged people who can choose to do so.
Anyone who wants to be vegan, with the exception of certain geographically remote locations in the world, can do so. A plant-based diet can be one of the most accessible and low-cost diets on the planet. Obviously, there are exceptions to this. If you're a single mother in an inner city on benefits, then processed refined foods such as £1 pizzas are going to be potentially a more viable option. The problem in this scenario, though, isn't that fruits and vegetables are for the privileged. It's the fact that the food system is broken. When you can buy junk foods for such cheap prices and you make healthier foods more expensive, then you have a fundamental flaw in the system.
I can choose to do it. You can choose to do it. If you live in a developing country, okay, or, no, let me stop that. Not even living in a developing country. If you are Mrs. Smith, working 2 minimum wage jobs, okay, in this country, trying to feed your kids, are you really going to be concerned with your pulses and making sure the supplements are right to actually feed your kids so they can have a vegan diet? No, you want to feed your kids.
Again, he is missing the point here. This shouldn't have to be a forced choice for parents to make because food systems are broken. If healthy plant-based foods have better support from governments, then Giles's privileged comments become redundant. Most parents, if they had the choice in education, would make the right choices, but unfortunately, the way societies are constructed are not so black and white.
All right? And so what annoys me about evangelical plant-based and vegan is not that people do it. People should do what they want to do. But what they do is they make other people feel bad by not having that diet, particularly when they don't have the choice to do it. That is what annoys me.
I get that point. You should never try and make someone feel bad for their choices. For 3 quarters of my life, I wasn't vegan. And I bet for many of you watching this, there was a big chunk of your life before you went plant-based. And does that mean people who aren't plant-based or vegan are lesser people? Absolutely not. As the saying goes, you can't teach somebody the truth, they have to learn it.
I've seen some videos on social media, we've probably all seen them, of certain activist groups that want people to stop eating animal products, going into supermarkets and taking the lid off the milk and just pouring it all over the floor in protest. If you were sat with one of those people that goes into supermarkets, pours milk on the floor and goes into the meat section and does whatever, and they came to you and they said, what should we be doing instead, in your perspective, to move people away from animal products for moral or environmental reasons, whatever it might be? What would be a better strategy based on what you believe and what you've studied?
I really like that question, but it's important to say what works for one may not necessarily work for others. I'm really not keen on strong pressurized activism, but I acknowledge that for some this tactic works.
We do not need we need to move the curve. We do not need everyone to be vegan. We don't. There are going to be people who are vegan, and that's perfectly fine. I want to stress I am not anti-vegan in the slightest. But what we need as a world is for everyone to eat 10 to 20% less meat today. That is achievable. Don't eat meat at lunch. Don't eat meat on Fridays, whatever it is. Don't eat meat once a week. We need to eat 10 to 20% less meat and less meat products.
Why?
For two different reasons. That the environmental impact would be enormous. Beyond anything, the environmental impact would be enormous.
I have always said trying to get everyone to go vegan is not realistic and will never fly. But I think you are much more likely to get a much higher proportion of people going plant-based, 80% of the time though, through education.
And that would help the environment. That's the first thing. It's interesting. So COP26, I think, was just finished, and COP27 is the people were talking about sustainable farming. People were clearly talking about fossil fuels. All of these need to talk about. But no, the term eat less meat, not eat no meat, eat less meat, did not even make it to the discussion. It was not even mentioned in the final thing, because people are too afraid about the farm lobby. Okay. But that's because we're framing this in a slightly the wrong way. Because people think, oh, you want us to cut out meat entirely. You want us to destroy our farming industry. No, we need to just eat a little bit less meat, all of us immediately, for the environment. And actually, that will also turn to our health as well.
Telling people to eat a little less meat is really not going to help fix the health issues we are currently facing today.
On one hand, I'm saying that there's a safe dose of meat. On the other hand, I'm saying eat less meat. But that is the answer. It's a nuanced answer where we eat too much meat, and for us, the privilege, we at least have a responsibility to try and eat less meat, because we have the choice. We have the wherewithal in order to do it. And so I think that is what we need to do. We need to take a more nuanced view about it, less evangelical, understand that people's socioeconomic place on said ladder is important about the choices which they have. We need to make healthier food, whatever you want to do, healthy for the planet, healthy for the environment. Okay, we need to make it the cheaper, easier, and more convenient choice. That's what we need to do.
Absolutely agree with those final points there. If you have a food system that makes it easier for people to make healthier choices, and alongside that you provide better education, well then the planet, the animals, and all of our healths would be much better off. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video, and if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this one up here, because I'm sure you'll find it equally interesting. And the only other thing that's left for me to say is to remember to look after your body, because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.